Hello, this video is for, is a Mr. or Mrs. Naoki. Naoki is most likely men's first name for a male, and it's hard to tell it says Naoki, it's twice, as if like Kramer versus Kramer, but I guess this is pen name or nickname. So this person is asking, first time seeing you, nice to see you. I am always looking forward to listen to MOP period. Have you ever encountered racial discrimination in the United States? So this is what the question is, and this is my answer. I want to think that my answer is kind of decent. Decent means honest enough and short enough and not too long, and maybe it's kind of reality. And I said, oh, thank you for comment, and it's nice to see you. If you ever if you ask me if I had received or encountered discrimination, I could say for some extent it is, yes. But people in the past, that must be hard. For instance, Japanese internment camp during World War II. But nowadays, talking about bullying in Japan, at work, at school, at work, at home, in sweatshop in Japan, like modern day slavery, is harsh than racial discrimination in the United States. So there I say that. Normally I say it depends, yes or no, or depends on where you live, men and women, or which state, but I said, yeah, to me the bullying and harassment in Japan, the school, work and stuff, is more severe than racial discrimination in the United States. And then to me the reason being, like, there are so in Japan, in the US, people are not supposed to discriminate against race, creed, national origin, or this and that. And then I think people here decent. Yeah, of course, compared to back in the days, like during World War II or Civil Rights Movement. And then here, by the way, this month I went on vacation in Detroit, Michigan, that's famous for automobile industry. And I was so scared if the Detroit went to bankrupt. Is that because of Japanese cars? What if this place is anti-Japan? I was so scared. But this year is year 2019, so my worry is it's just worry, not the reality. Yeah. So here goes. Yeah, I in Detroit Detroit, Michigan, I only saw only one person who is kind of project bitter attitude a little bit, but of course that was old lady, possibly late 60s or early 70s, Caucasian women. But of course she doesn't say anything, she just have some attitude. And but who knows, maybe her dad used to work for Packard or Ford or Chrysler or whatever the stuff. And yeah, so that's what I wrote. And oh yeah, see, I know I should appreciate people at least nice, at least on the surface level. It's not like 1950s or 1960s. So I try to be thankful. And yeah, compared to old days, and in Detroit, Michigan, is that 1980 something? The one someone some Chinese person, I don't know if the person is someone from China or Chinese descent. He was beaten to death, mistaken by Japanese. And there is a Wikipedia article about that incident. So, and I don't know the year, if that's end of 70s or early 80s or what. And yeah, so you see, I am not a Buddhist, but there is an episode when Buddha's pupil said, let's say, so the pupil student went to some town in a village in India, and they say people here are anti-Buddhism, and then Buddha asked him, "Are you okay to go there?" And then he said, "Townsmen or villagers are nice. Even though they yell at me, they don't throw stone or rock." And then the teacher said, "What if they throw stones?" And students said, "They are kind, because even though they throw stones at me, they don't use sword to stab or slash." And the teacher asked again, "What if they use sword to stab or slash on you?" And then people here are nice and kind, because even though they stab or slash using sharp sword, they don't take my life. And then the conversation goes on. I don't quite remember, and since I'm not Buddhist, so whoever knows a lot about Buddhism story or episode, they know what I'm talking about. Oh, I know the student's name. Oh, his name is this and that. And oh, I know he went to that village or town. So my point is that, yeah, of course, nowadays the racial discrimination is that overt, covert, like a colorblind discrimination? I don't know what to say, but yeah, compared to 1950s or 60s, or like a 45 or during World War II, yeah, it's of course getting better. So that's what I was trying to say. And and also for Mr. and Mr. or Miss Naoki, and I don't know what he or she is looking for, either how old he is, let's say how old he is, and if he is looking for studying abroad in the US, or immigrate to the US, or find job in the US, or want to date or marry American girl, or what. I don't know what he's looking for, but if anybody say, oh, you shouldn't do that, if he encounter naysayer, or you shouldn't study abroad, or you shouldn't immigrate to the US, you shouldn't go to college in the US, you shouldn't marry or date American girl, you shouldn't date American women, or if anybody say that, please pay attention why they say no. Chances are that sometimes when in Japan, when everybody start going to college, some people complained, oh, hey, how come everybody has to go? Rather than saying that, oh, it is great that now many people can afford college nowadays, that's great. Instead of saying that, oh, hey, how come everyone try to go to college? And same goes whoever who have, let's say, interracial marriage, and then I have interracial marriage, but I don't recommend you. If anybody say that, they want to be the only happy person. That's why they say no to other people. And so if you encounter naysayer, pay attention to what. Chances are naysayers are afraid that they don't. If many people go to American college, or have a fancy big degree, and then those jealous naysayer will be no longer special. Maybe that's what they are afraid of. So follow your dream. And if you want to ask a question, comment is welcome. Listen to your dream rather than naysayer. All right, thank you. Bye.